Well, what is going on? Welcome back to Clayton Schick Outdoors. Of course, I'm Clayton Schick. This is the beautiful outdoors, and I am on a mission right now to power fish some walleyes. I just finished up a really fun shallow water cranking video. If you haven't seen that, it'll likely be the last video that I had put out. And yeah, I'm just going to put the trolling motor down, head down the shoreline, and cast shallow with some tickle tails, probably 3.8 inch, maybe 2.8 inch, some jerk shads possibly, and I'm not sure what else yet. No idea. We're just gonna fish, but definitely gonna start with a tickle tail because it's a confidence bait for me doing this method. And yeah, we'll see what we can make happen. Let's do it. I think I'm gonna make a little move. I'm fishing the area where it slowed down on me a lot when I was cranking. I'm gonna go to where I first started and work on that area because that was where I had the best luck to start with. I got a 23, a couple 20s right away. Things were hot and heavy, so I think I'm gonna make a small little move, go down there and see if the bite's just off right now or if it's an area or what. But right now I fished for the first 15-20 minutes here and no luck. I'm throwing a little bit bigger bait. I probably could downsize and likely catch some of the smaller fish I've seen, but we're gonna make a little bit of an adjustment anyway. I'm still seeing fish and not getting any interest, and I'm gonna go to a little bit smaller bait and see what happens. Okay, let's try a little bit smaller bait. At this time, at this point, I'm wondering if I should have just stayed cranking. Do I really have to fish him with a Jig N Minna today? Okay, well maybe we gotta use bait, I guess. Drop down a Jig N Minna, and I caught one almost instantly. I tried plastics for quite a while, and they're not even interested. They're not even following it around at all. Even the Jig N Minna, it took a little bit to get this fish to eat. But we'll do whatever we got to do. It's a nice fish. I prefer not to use bait, not gonna lie, but if you have to, you have to. I'll get a quick measure on it, but that's not a bad one. Probably a 21-ish. A little bit bigger, 22 1/4. Okay, whoa, geez, they are spunky. The old Jig N Minna. The old Jig N Minna. The power of the Jig N Minna. Maybe one for the box. Right below. Jeez. That's why I don't like to bait fish as much, because you catch a lot of smaller ones. Oh, that fish followed it down. That's a walleye. It's a big one. It's a nice one, but I think it could be a pike too. That's a walleye. That was awesome. That one was up higher and it followed the Jig N Minna all the way down when I cast it out to it. That's a nicer one. The old suspended one. Come here, buddy. Come here. Nice. Oh, nice 21.5. Not bad at all. Hopefully we get some bigger ones yet with the little Jig N Minna, but we'll take them. Setting the hook is fun. Right on the bottom. Right on the bottom. This fish way up here suspended. This fish was way up here. That was awesome. It's almost like he was coming to check out the trolling motor. I hardly even saw him on the Livescope. The bigger ones are definitely suspended. Another beautiful 21 incher. Going home. Lots of spunk on this one. There we go. 40 feet. I dropped it to that one. That was cool. Picked it right up off the bottom. We're getting them. We are getting them. Get out of that trolling motor, buddy. Get over here. Get over here. Maybe another one for the live well. Is the Jig N Minna a boring way to make a video? It sure is. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And like I said, I'm generally probably going to catch some of the smaller fish this way. But I did throw out the soft plastics for a while and no dice. It wasn't good. The cranking earlier in the day was successful, I think, just because I was covering so much water. Would I catch some of these fish on soft plastics? Eventually, I think I would. But I'm going to try another area here, and I'm still going to probably continue with the old Jig N Minna. We'll talk a little bit about the style of jig that I'm using, how I hook my minnows, rod, that stuff, just to kind of make it a little more exciting. In 2027, I believe it is, Manitoba will ban the use of leeches, and I use a lot of leeches, I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind night crawlers, but they're so dirty, they're so greasy, and dirt's everywhere. So frozen minnows are probably one of the other things that I'm going to use when I do have to bait fish. I'd rather use leeches probably, but I'm going to use the minnows. I love the Jig N Minna, 100%. Jig N Minna is such a good thing in the North Country, and obviously it is in the South too. The water temp's still cold. It's only 57 degrees, which is actually a lot warmer than what I thought it was going to be. I think earlier in the day it was like 55, 54, can't remember. But usually when the water gets above 60, then I can start smashing them on soft plastics. Anyways, we'll go check another spot, keep jigging, and see if we can put a big mama in the boat yet, hopefully. So these are the jigs that I use mostly with the Jig N Minna. A long shank Google Eye jig from Clayton's. This one's a 1/4 ounce here. So I have 1/8, 1/4, and 3/8. Generally it depends on the depth and the wind. I got a little bit of wind right now, and I am pitching them, so I'm using a 1/4. If I had no wind, I probably would use an 1/8, because I'm only fishing her between 5 and 10 to 12 feet, somewhere in there. I would likely use an 1/8 if there was no wind at all. If there was a heavy wind, I'd fish a 3/8 even. But that's probably my favorite jig for the Jig N Minna. I like it when there's current. I like it when it's still. I like that it has just a little bit of rattle in it, right? Just to kind of attract them over. I think anyway. I don't know, it works for me. And if I can catch fish with them, so can you. That fish was way up, suspended high. Got his attention, got him to eat it. Nice fish, nice fish. That was cool. It was really cool. That one I feel like I could have got to eat a plastic. It's a nice dark one right there. Skinny, but dark. Well, let's go try another spot. Wind's calming down nicely. I should get a really nice evening. We're gonna fish till dark likely to try to connect to a big mama and just enjoy the day. The rod that I'm using is an Elliot rod. This is their Identity series that they just came out with last year. I used this actually recently in another video. This is a 610 medium light extra fast. Nice just for pitching these 1/4 ounce jigs around here so softly. It's got really good sensitivity. Very, very nice rod. And 10-pound Sufix G-Core is what's on there, with a 10-pound Sufix advanced fluorocarbon leader, tied with a uni to uni knot. Oh, that was cool. That fish came up and ate it as it was falling. Walleye are a cool fish, just for the fact that they can be abundant and sometimes pretty aggressive. I'm gonna go up along the shoreline and look for some new spots. And I thought I would sync up my active captain here with my Echo Map to try to do a little bit of screen recording. On that, there's some fish right there. There's 2 fish, 1, 2 right there for sure. See those shadows that are raised? I'm coming into a bunch more here. A bunch. I was hoping to kind of trying to find some carp as well and stuff like that, but this is the GT56 transducer. I just got it this year. I thought I'd play around with it a little bit. Since I'm running all of live imaging with Garmin, I was like, you know what? I was like, why don't I run their 2D and their clear view and their side view? And I'm pretty impressed with it. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to do more in the future with different, kind of explain the different color palettes and all that stuff. This is all new to me, so I just kind of picked the blue color palette to start with, I think it is, and just kind of motoring around here and looking. But I will let this run a little bit and I'll try to point out some obvious fish and some rocks and whatnot. I'm coming up here on some fish and some rocks. There's rocks on the left here, left side of the screen, and then there is fish, looks like above it. Those could be some rocks too. When you start to see the rocks and the fish, the difference is you'll have a little bit of a separation between the shadow of the fish or the rock type of thing. Like a rock is not going to have any separation. It's going to be right from the shadow to the image itself, or to whatever you're marking. A fish will have a shadow, a little bit of separation, and then the fish. If a fish is tight to bottom, there's going to be no separation. It's really cool when you start to see carp, because you can actually see them like being rounded, and then you see their tail and everything. It's so neat to see. I use side imaging a lot in the springtime, probably more than anything, I'd say. I like it in the shallow water, going up along the shore, looking for pods of fish mostly, sometimes for structure as well, if I can find some rock spines or whatever. But a lot of times I'm looking for pods of fish. Right now there's a pile of fish though around here for sure. It's just that time of year where there's a lot of fish shallow, mostly small. So we'll see if we can go down the shoreline and find something a little bit bigger on side imaging. I am only looking 45 feet out right now. Maybe I'll change that a little bit. Let's see here. Side view, range. Let's go up, down, 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 down. We'll look at 60. Okay, we're gonna look at 60 feet out right now. We were at 45, now we're looking 60 feet. That's looks like a fish right there, a little bit of a nicer size one there. It's at the bottom of the screen, and now I got a bunch of, those are all rocks here. This is like a, so you see the rock sand transition. When you slow down, you're not going to have the best image. I find like the optimal image around that like 3 miles an hour probably to have your like best image. Obviously Garmin will have like even a more specific speed for you. That's kind of what I like, is that 3 mile an hour you get the clearest image. But there, like I said, there was a bunch of rocks there on that, there's a rock sand transition. You can see from the shore there was a bunch of rocks, and it just kind of carried out into the lake. There's some fish there. 1, 2 little guys, 3 little guys. Looks like some kind of trees or something on the right. Maybe a little bit of the river edge drop off. It does drop off on the right side on me here. Some more fish with some kind of rubbish on the side here. Oh, there we go. There's some bigger fish right there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. The one's possibly a rock. The rest look to be like fish though, I would say. Couple fish right there. Now the smart thing would have been is to kind of cast at those fish, right? Put it in neutral and cast out. But I'm just playing with the side view. I wanted to kind of see what it's like and spend some time with it. There's a couple more fish right there. 1, 2, another one there. 3, those ones are smaller. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a rock right there. Those are some more rocks. I really think where side view shines is when you have like a flat bottom and you can really see those fish. It also shines with finding your transitions from rock to sand. The fish can get a little bit tougher to see when you're in a lot of boulders. Boulders and the fish can kind of look the same on side imaging a lot of times. So the biggest thing is, right, is just to kind of go up and down the shoreline or wherever you're looking, see what's there. And if you're not sure if those were rocks or a fish, double back again. If it's there again 3, 4 times in a row, it's probably rocks. Here I got 3 little fish, 1, 2, 3. You can see how there's so much separation, and then all of a sudden right there, there's some rocks, right? Now there's no separation with that. Now, like I said, it could be a fish laying on the bottom, but now when I look up and I see the rocks right here, I'm thinking, okay, it's probably that rock transition, right, that's coming out. So side view works so good with finding your transitional lines like that, where it goes from heavy rock to sparse rock, where it starts to be that sand. That attracts a lot of bait fish, crawfish, and then we'll bring in your bigger fish, right? So I wouldn't hesitate to set up on a transition like that at all. Come on. They are finicky, I'm not gonna lie. Very, very finicky. Nice fish though. The Jig N Minna strikes again with probably another 20-incher. Very nice. Cool. My wind did like almost a 180 straight out of the east right now, and the fish have gone closed lips. I'm gonna try a little bit more, but that might wrap up my day. Wind changes are never good. Got him. Not bad at all right there. That's fun. Well, I waited the wind change long enough and we're hammering them again. A nice chunky one right there. The sun is starting to set. Life is good. The Jig N Minna is on fire. I might throw the tickle tail down a little bit. These fish are kind of firing up a little bit. Yep. I had a feeling the tickle tail would catch them. They're definitely, their mood has completely changed right now. I even still have some more minnows left. Not many, but some. Fishing is one of those things where you can have your mindset that you're gonna do a certain technique or use a certain bait or something, but you have to let the fish tell you what to do. Every time I do that, I go out with a plan and I end up doing something else. Well, I think that this will be my last cast. The wind has picked up quite a bit. It's getting cold quick. That sun is just about to go over the trees. It was a good day. I filmed 2 videos. I think the cranking video was a pile of fun for me because it's something I haven't done a lot in early spring like this. I'll be doing some more of that stuff for sure. I'll be doing a lot more of this plastics. It just wasn't a plastic bite today when I started. It truly wasn't. The water's still cold. It's 57 degrees. I like that 60 degrees and above for an aggressive walleye soft plastic. You want to catch a pile of fish right now, bait, leeches, minnows as you saw, and just low and slow for the most part. Obviously the cranking worked earlier, which was the other video, because I was covering a pile of water, which is a big difference. Anyways, no idea what this video is all about, but as always, thank you for watching, and don't forget, get outside.